Hello everyone. Today I am going to show you one of my go-to holiday makeup looks. It is so simple and so easy, and if you follow the simple rule, not necessarily the shades, but the simple rule, this can apply to literally anyone. To begin, we are going to start with my eyes because sometimes there's fallout and I don't like having to clean it up. I don't like getting it on my foundation, so we're going to start there. I like to start with a base, so I am going to use some concealer and I'm just going to apply it on my lids. Easy peasy. And then I usually use my finger to just tap it in. You can use a normal eyeshadow base. I don't have any on hand at the moment that I like, so I have found that concealer has been my go-to because I just think it's easy. You always have it. Or at least I always have it, and it works just as well for the looks that I do. Whether you're doing if you're gonna do something with crazy colors, I might recommend an actual eyeshadow base only because that's what it's for. And an eyeshadow base basically just helps you, it doesn't just help with the pigment of the eyeshadow, it also helps keeping it from creasing. If you ever wear it without a base, you know what I mean. It definitely creases. I know mine used to back in the day, back in middle school days. Mine would crease all the time. But it just gives it a good base so that then the eyeshadow can go on pigmented and it keeps it from creasing, or helps prevent it from creasing. I don't want to say it keeps it because sometimes it still does. The very first shade that I'm going to use is in the Kylie Jenner palette. It's going to be Raw right here. It's just like a skin tone, and I tap off the excess and I just go all over my lid. It just kind of gives, in my opinion, you don't have to do this. I do this because I feel like it just kind of sets the concealer or the eyeshadow base, and it really doesn't have to look good. No one's gonna see it except for you. For this look, I'm going to be using browns and golds, but you can use whatever shades you really want. It honestly works with pretty much all of them that I've tried, at least. So to begin, I am going to go into the Dominique Essential palette. I love this palette, and I'm going to go into probably Compassion first. It's just kind of like a medium shade out of all the ones that I'm going to use, and I'm going to put it right here in the crease, right there. And it doesn't have to be clean. It really doesn't. It can be kind of messy. We're just working on getting a base transition shade. And I really pack it on here in the outer corner. You'll see why later. But I have slightly hooded eyes. Not hooded enough to be considered hooded in my opinion. But, so I go above my lid, on my brow, right under my brow bone. And you want to get in the crease, get in that inner corner. That way you kind of have a dome shape there. Tap off the excess and then repeat on this side. I go in circular motions and then a swiping motion, and I just kind of go back between the two until I get the coverage that I want. My eye shape and my face shape, it's different on both. Not just my eyebrows. I know my eyebrows don't match. It's fine. It's fine. But my face shape doesn't match. It's not symmetrical entirely. It's close, but it's not quite. So one eye always looks so much better than the other. And that's okay. That's normal. That's normal. Okay, so now that that's on and it matches, we are going to go into our next shade. This one's going to be a little bit darker. And we're going to use a smaller fluffy brush. The Michaela Glam Light one. And we are going to go into How You Doing. It's this shade right here. Put up that brush, tap off the excess, and then we're going to stamp it on the outer corner and go about halfway in, and then go all in that crease right there. This does not have to be pretty. This can be messy.
I'm gonna get all up close so you guys can see. I'm looking at my little mirror right here.
then once you stamp it in a little bit, you can go in little circular motions, kind of blend it ever so slightly. Blend it. I like to blend it up a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Okay, and then same thing to the other eye. My daughter's in the other room with my dad right now. They're having the time of their lives. So if you hear her, she's not crying. She's squealing. Okay, now that that's kind of even, well, I'm going to go a little darker on the left eye. All right, a little more. Once it's kind of even, you're going to grab that first brush that you used and you're just going to blend it out. If you wanted this to be like super duper sharp, like a sharp line right here, you can put tape or something under it. I don't personally care as much. This is just my family we're going with today for Thanksgiving. So it's not that big of a deal. Blended out, we are going to go into our darkest shade. The brush we're going to use is, for me, I use this really tiny, slightly fluffy brush. It's really small. Into the Ace Beauty Mystic Romance palette. And we are going to go into Enchantment down here. It's a really dark brown. So with this one, this palette's also really pigmented. So a little bit goes a long way. I'm going to stamp my bottom lash line into like a vague eyeliner shape. Really messy eyeliner, pretty much. Just like that. And you can kind of rub it in a little bit right there. Bring it out as far as you want. Okay, that's good enough. And again, it does not have to be perfect. Then we're going to do the same thing on this side. We go back in with the medium fluffy brush. And we just blend it out. Blend it out. Mostly buffed out and blended, you're going to go back with your first fluffy brush. If you have super awesome brushes, you might not have to go so back and forth between brushes like I do, but oops, I'm very particular about my eyeshadow brushes and haven't found the most amazing ones yet. Still on the lookout. Pretty much done. I promise it looks better in person. This lighting is not doing it justice. That looks good. Okay, so now that it's all blended out, we have our shades done. I'm just going to go back in, go up and over one more time. Now, you could just leave it here if you like a matte look. I like matte looks, but not for this. So I like shimmer. I like shimmer. So we are going to go back into, let's see. We're going to go back into the kind of palette. And we're going to go into Buzz Off. It's that top shimmer right there. You can really use whatever shimmer you want. And then you just stick it in that inner corner right there. Bring it up and over. I have found that my finger applies shimmer better than my brushes. I just feel like it really gets the glitter on there opposed to a brush. There. Alrighty, the eyes are done almost. So the basic rule for eyeshadow that I use is like you do the base color and then you do a medium shade in the crease and on the outers, and then you go with the darkest one in the outer corner, and then you just blend it all together. That's the trick. That's the trick. It's like kind of a smoky eye, but not quite. And it can be any shade you want. I've used this shade I've used this technique with all sorts of shades. I've used it with like blues and greens and reds and golds and all sorts of shades, and it always looks super good at the end. So yeah, now we're gonna move on to the face. I'm gonna start by exfoliating and taking off the extra shimmer that fell, all the fallout. This is also where you could take a makeup wipe and you could like clean up the edges. I'm not going to because I don't have makeup wipes up here with me. My eyes are a little crazy. My under eyes. Okay. I am going to clean it up a little bit. They're just not my normal stuff. So I'm going to use a hyaluronic acid peptide serum. A little bit goes a long way. And then we're just going to lightly dab it on. And then I'm going to put on a moisturizer. And I have this Volition Mineral Complete cream. I haven't used it before. Hopefully I don't break out. In order to have a good base makeup, you need to have good skincare on. You need to have your skin prepped. If you haven't, you should watch Michaela Nogueira. Starts with an N, and I don't want to butcher her name more than I already have today. But I love her videos. She is amazing at makeup, and she's very helpful. Very helpful. That we have our skin prepped, it's time to go in with primer. I have kind of a mix of skin types, so I like to start with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and then I put it in my problem areas. Like my chin has really bad pores, and around my mouth, really bad pores, and my nose, really bad pores. And I feel like that's just most people. So layering primer is not a bad thing. I find it helpful for me personally, and I'll put this under my eyes too. I personally think it helps my makeup look well, but like other people, they don't do, or they don't think it turns out right. But I like how it turns out. So now that that's on, and I almost knocked you over, I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. You could use the Milk one. I don't own that one. That one's a bit more spendy than the e.l.f. and from what I've heard, the e.l.f. does just as good. So you just kind of layer it on there. I'm going to use my little mirror for this so I can actually see. So I pinned my hair back. My primer's on. It is dried. You really want to let that stuff dry because it'll be really sticky after. So next we are going to take a little flat brush for concealer, and we are going to get our pot of concealer, and then we're going to put it on our blemishes really quickly. Diagnosed with PCOS, so during certain times of my cycle, or if I'm not eating right, my acne flares up severely. Needless to say, this is one of those times. But I've also been tanning, and so some of these are freckles. Like all of that, that's all freckles. The rest of that, that's all freckles. So, yeah. So then you want to let that dry. Give that a couple minutes. So typically what I do is I put on my lip plumper. I'm going back and forth between if I want to use, I'm going to use the Viper. It is Viper, right? Viper lip plumper. Yep. I don't remember who it's by. By Nabla. I'm going to use this as a lip plumper today. I love this one. This is yes. Hi.
Okay. Ruining your video.
I have to edit it anyways.
No!
Maybe I'll just keep that part in. I like to do lip plumper a little bit before I actually do my actual lips because it gives it time to plump. And I haven't tried this kind before, but I've smelled it and it smells really good. It smells like vanilla, which is why I like it. Okay, now we're gonna move on to foundation. I use the NARS Mont Blanc, I don't know, L2 in the I believe it's the light reflecting foundation. Then I use a damp beauty blender to apply this. I personally think it works better with my skin, with how my skin's been over the past many years. I've used a damp beauty blender. You can use whatever the heck you want though. Some people like brushes. I haven't found a good enough brush to use for that, but I really like this foundation. My skin's kind of combination, and especially after pregnancy. Pregnancy like messed hardcore with my skin. I didn't realize that it was gonna affect it that much. It does. Always put foundation on your neck. Do not miss your neck, please. You can already see the lip plumper starting to work. It's starting to tingle. You can use as much or as little foundation as you want. Since my skin's acting up, I'm using a little more than I typically probably would. But I really like this foundation because it looks matte and it just, I don't know, it just sits really, really well on my skin. I don't know what's wrong with the lights, but it definitely looks better in person. Maybe if I change the light setting, let's see. I don't know. No. We're gonna have to live with that. Okay. I promise you, lights will get better with time. I just need new ones. I need better lighting in this room. Maybe if we turn. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, we'll do this for now. Okay. So you can see my makeup stuff behind me. Alright, now I'm going to use Rare Beauty Concealer. Mine broke when I bought it, but it's amazing stuff, so I don't even care. And I'm going to put this under my eyes, a little bit on my nose, a little bit there, a little bit there, and then definitely a little bit right there because there's some problem area right there. I don't know. Go with your gut on how much you should use or shouldn't. I'm going to go back in with the same beauty blender, and I am going to blend my face out first. And I use the spot that I used for my foundation so that then it kind of mixes it together and looks good. Then I'm going to use the other side because it's not as used. I'm just going to tap this in real quick. That's all blended in. We're gonna powder it up. I like the Watermelon Burst. I think it's by Cietzi. Where is it? I don't see. There it is. Cietzi. was a guess. I don't know. I'm wearing black and this is actually what I'm wearing today, so I'm gonna do my best not to get it on my outfit. Then I have my little puff, and I'm just gonna lightly dip it in there, tap off the excess, make sure there's no creases, tap it out real quick. If you set this with creases, your creases will stay. They will stay. Okay, and then I use the extra and just kind of go all over. We're going to take a flat, fluffy, angled brush and go into one of the darker shades. You can take your pick of the eyeshadow that we used. Using the How You Doin' shade from the Michaela palette. And then you just lightly put it under your eyeball. With that, you can go as dark or as light as you want. Today I didn't want to go as dark. Otherwise I would have used the darkest shade, which would have looked good too, but yeah. Then you're going to take a super fluffy brush and you're just going to blend all this powder in. The reason we do that with a, while we are baking our face, baking our under eye, whatever you want to call it, the reason I do it that way is so that then if there's fallout, it's easier to wipe away. I need to put the powder all over my face because I feel like it gives me a good base for the next step. Is bronzer. I'm using Too Faced. It's in the shade Sun Bunny. It's 2 shades and they are a little shimmery, but that's why I like them. So you load up your brush. I'm taking like a denser angled brush and then I just tap it on like that. Everyone does this a little differently. Some people just like lightly do it. I full send it. Full send. Definitely does not look that bad in person, but on camera, it's just not liking my skin today. But that's okay. I can work with that. And then I do my nose just like this. Tap it on. A little tap tap. Take a fluffier brush and I just blend that out. Is having a harsh line on my forehead. My jaw, I can live with that one, but on my forehead, no. Absolutely not. Or my neck. Next up, I am using blush. I use a fluffy brush. I'm using the Ofra blush in shade Chameleon. This is my favorite. I've already hit pan. Now, for my face shape, I like it up a little higher. But put blush wherever your heart desires. And I take it a little bit under my eye. Just like that. Fluffy brush. Then blend it out. I stabbed my eye. Okay. Now, this is probably my favorite part of all of makeup, is highlighter. I'm going to use Fenty Beauty in the shade Hustla Baby. I have hit pan in that too. Now I load it up, tap off the excess, and I just go right here. I don't even need a mirror for this part. I got this part down. Oh, I just love how that looks. And then I take a little bit on my nose, just like that, and then I go right under the brow bone, just like that. Okay, and then highlight's done. Next up, we're going to tight line our eyes. So I use a crayon type eyeliner, and I just go right in my waterline. Look away if you don't like seeing things hit eyes. That one's done. Time for this one. Thumbs up. I can either add eyeliner or not. I'm going to add the slightest little bit. Now let's see if we can reciprocate that. Yep, close enough. Next up, we're using the Gimme Brow by Benefit for our brows. And I just brush them straight up like that. So pretty. I like this because it's tinted, and I like how it's like a spoolie brush, so it really just gets all the clumps out, and then it helps them lay flat all day. It'll keep them in place all day. Next, we're gonna curl our eyelashes. Now I'm just telling you right now, if my eyelashes look like crap with this mascara, I'm putting falsies on. I'm full set. Okay, for mascara, we're gonna use the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect mascara. I have used this before, and I normally like it, but it kind of, there's some fallout with it most of the time with me. I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or what, but I like that it gives length and volume. That's just with the first layer. Normally I heat it up because it I think it works better heated up. Pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I don't enjoy putting falsies on, so I really like it when mascara actually does its job and looks like falsies, especially when they claim it. So, yeah. Also, a lot of the products that I'm using you can get on Amazon. I have an Amazon storefront, so head to my Instagram or Facebook. My Instagram username is BritBrit123, BRYTT. And the link will be in my bio. And I'll post it in the description below too, so then you can go to my Amazon storefront. I have all sorts of stuff on there. I have oh my gosh. That's okay. Let it dry. I'm on a health journey. So I have all these protein snacks and sips and all of my go-to favorite things from Amazon. I have a daughter, so I have some toys on there for her and bottles and stuff like that, but go check it out. It's really cool. I have lots of good stuff. And a lot of my makeup stuff, like products that I'm using. I think this is on my Amazon storefront. And the primer I use, those are all on there, and a couple of it. My cousin taught me this trick. You let it dry, and then you just whoop, and it should come off. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna bawl my eyes out. Okay, I'm gonna fix this. Alright, I fixed it, and we're back. I keep going back and forth if I want to do a nude lip or a signature red lip. I ended up going with a red lip. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all try this makeup look out, or at least the color technique for the eyes. If you do, please comment below and let me know, because I would love to know if it helps. And yeah, I'll see you all next time.